If you've been convicted of a DUI in Pennsylvania, your driver's license will be suspended or revoked. The length of your suspension depends on your offense, but in most cases, you can regain driving privileges with the installation of an ignition interlock device. Let us be your one-stop resource to help you through the process. We want to help explain your options based on your offense. If you've been convicted of a DUI in Pennsylvania for the first time, your driver's license will be suspended. The length of suspension time depends on your breath alcohol content, or BAC. Generally, the law requires first-time DUI offenders with a BAC of 0.1% or higher to have an ignition interlock device, or IID for short, installed for at least 1 year. For offenders with a BAC below 0.1%, the installation of the device is at the discretion of the court. If you are facing a first-time DUI charge in Pennsylvania, you may be eligible for a program called ARD, or Accelerated Rehabilitative Disposition, which will allow you to resolve your DUI case without a criminal charge. If you are convicted of a second DUI offense within 10 years, you will be required to install an ignition interlock device for a period of 1 year. Additionally, Pennsylvania law requires second-time DUI offenders to serve a mandatory minimum period of incarceration, even if they are eligible for alternative sentencing programs such as house arrest or work release. If convicted of a third DUI offense, your license will be suspended for 1.5 years. You will be required to complete a mandatory 1-year interlock device program and can face up to 10 years in prison. Since Pennsylvania is an implied consent state, meaning by driving on state roads you have already given consent to submit to testing, there are penalties for refusing to provide a breath or blood sample when suspected of a DUI. If you refuse a test, you can face mandatory 12-month ignition interlock installation requirements even if you have not been convicted of a DUI. When handling your ignition interlock requirements, there are several forms you will need to fill out to be in compliance with Pennsylvania DOT or PennDOT. These forms include the DL21SC form and interlock application form, which is attached to the last page of your restoration letter. These forms are relevant to those who own a vehicle and those who do not own a vehicle but are still required to install an ignition interlock device. Be sure to work with the Pennsylvania DOT and your legal advisor to be sure you have received and are filling out the correct forms for your specific situation. No matter the offense, it's important to note that a judge may require additional interlock usage or other conditions beyond the minimums we're covering in this video. After installing your ignition interlock device, be sure to obtain all necessary documentation related to your ignition interlock installation, including a receipt or proof of installation. Scheduling regular maintenance to stay in compliance with your ignition interlock device requirements is critical. The interlock device must be serviced after the first 30 days. After the initial 30-day servicing, you must have the device serviced every 60 days. Any interlock restricted driver who fails to report for device servicing is subject to additional penalties and consequences. Before the IID is removed, you should follow the instructions provided by the court or Department of Transportation to have your full driving privileges reinstated. This might involve visiting a PennDOT office, paying any necessary fines, and complying with any remaining requirements. LifeSafer is required to complete a final data download to ensure there are no reported violations in the past 60 days. Once LifeSafer has a copy of your new, unrestricted license, you will be able to schedule the removal of the device. If you are petitioning for the removal of your device, your PA LifeSafer representative will sign the removal paperwork and send it back to you for you to send to Pennsylvania DOT. If you are not petitioning, your paperwork is sent to the Pennsylvania DOT by your PA LifeSafer representative. LifeSafer works closely with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation to meet all ignition interlock requirements. Whether you choose to install with LifeSafer or not, please use us as a resource to help you get back on the road as quickly as possible. Our goal is to make the process easy for you by providing a reliable, easy-to-use device. We will price match competitors so you know you're getting a fair cost without hidden fees. And our team is here to support you every step of the way. We know this process can be overwhelming, but as one of the most trusted interlock providers in Pennsylvania, we will get you through it.